Yes, Kenya. Tamu sana, tamu sana, tamu sana, yes. In this video, I want us to have a look at a tweet by Miguna, a tweet that confirms there is a looming split between William Ruto and Miguna over Fred Matiangi. It's getting noisy and messy. The center can no longer hold. Things are falling apart. Dr. Miguna, if true, this would be a tragic and horrible mistake. The millions of Kenyans who voted for William Ruto and Rigathi head Fred Matiangi and everything he represents, tyranny, looting, abuse of power, and unbridled arrogance. That's Miguna's tweet. From that tweet, it's very clear. The center can no longer hold. Things are falling apart in William Ruto's team. Let's put those remarks by Miguna into perspective. If you are watching us, but you have not yet subscribed, subscribe, give this video a like. The first perspective, Miguna is serving William Ruto from the same dish William Ruto served Uhuru Kenyatta. We can still remember William Ruto asking Uhuru Kenyatta, out of the 8 million Jubilee supporters who voted for you, you never saw anybody fit to support other than Raila Odinga. That was William Ruto's narrative against Uhuru Kenyatta. Miguna is also just using the same narrative on William Ruto. The only problem here, Miguna is not a major shareholder in Kenya Kwanza government. So his remarks might not be taken seriously and they might not carry a lot of political weight on the ground. But they have that potential of ringing some light bells on the minds of those who supported William Ruto and Rigathi Gachagua. And that can cause some rebellion. So what goes around comes around. The second perspective, when Miguna was being deported, Matiangi was the interior CS. And it's believed Matiangi himself supervised the deportation. Matiangi supervised Miguna's deportation. So now that William Ruto is bringing Matiangi close and Miguna is already inside, and the same William Ruto and his team were accusing Uhuru Kenyatta's government of being very vindictive to a point of even deporting a Kenyan in the name of Miguna, it's a little bit confusing and it just exposes the type of politicians we have in Kenya. Very dishonest. Politicians who are very hypocritical. It goes on to confirm the kind of confusion in William Ruto's team. Ruto is not very good at looking at the bigger picture. He is very fast and very quick to comment on issues without looking at the bigger picture. It's a fact William Ruto is now going to be in a fix on how to accommodate Miguna and Matiangi in the same team, while it's the same Matiangi who deported or supervised Miguna's deportation. It's a little bit tricky for William Ruto here. Another perspective I'm seeing here, Ruto and Miguna are not in good terms. That's why Miguna is coming out in public to make those sentiments. What I'm seeing here is that William Ruto is not accessible to Miguna. Miguna cannot reach him for some talks. That confirms one thing William Ruto has used Miguna, and he has now technically dumped Miguna. So that should be a warning and a lesson to the so-called Azimio rebels who are crossing over to Kenya Kwanza Alliance. I'm very sure that William Ruto has used and dumped Miguna because he feels Miguna is not adding him any political value on the ground. Ruto used him to create a perception, to build anti-Raila sentiments in the Luo nation, something that never peaked. William Ruto, having realized that Miguna is not of any use, has dumped him. I'm very sure that the moment William Ruto will realize that the Azimio rebels are not adding him any political value, William Ruto will very fast dump him and shop for new rebels, or rather for new leaders who can help him achieve what he wants to achieve politically and maybe in 2027. This is a warning to Azimio rebels. Be very careful. William Ruto might be using you today, tomorrow, he will dump you. Another perspective, Miguna, and William Ruto, from the look of things, I'm seeing they're just being hypocrites here. If you look at the things Miguna is saying the millions of Kenyans who voted for William Ruto and Rigathi hate Fred Matiangi and everything he represents: tyranny, looting, abuse of power, and unbridled arrogance. Miguna is accusing Matiangi of all those. The same Miguna some years back was calling Uhuru and Ruto as the despotic duo. He used to brand Uhuru and Ruto as the despotic duo. And all these things he's accusing Matiangi of, all these are attributes that can equally be put on William Ruto. Because some Kenyans see Ruto as a looter, somebody who is abusing power, somebody who is a tyrant. Miguna is accusing Matiangi of all those. So I'm seeing a hypocritical Miguna. A Miguna who is not just being truth with Kenyans, and is also not being truth with himself. Instead of calling a spade, he is saying it's a big spoon. Miguna knows the truth, but is afraid of actually saying the truth as it is. As I conclude, I'm seeing a very high possibility where Miguna and William Ruto are, in fact, the split between Miguna and William Ruto will soon surface in public. And this might just be the beginning of the split. It's going to be messy and noisy. And I'm seeing a Miguna again who cannot be put in the same room with William Ruto, Matiangi. Yes, those three individuals cannot be put in the same room. And even Matiangi himself, I really doubt whether Matiangi will be very free to work with William Ruto. Looking at the history of how things happened, I don't think these two leaders will actually work very freely, because it's very clear Matiangi will not be himself. Matiangi will not be himself here. And William Ruto will always be trying to show Matiangi that I'm now the boss. Yes, I'm now the boss. So these three leaders, in my honest opinion, are leaders who cannot fit in one pot. Let me stop it there, ladies and gentlemen. If you are watching us but you have not yet subscribed, subscribe, give this video a like. And to our fans and subscribers here, I'm very much humbled, very grateful for the kind of support you are giving me here. Any other person who wants to support our forum, I've pinned my number on the comment section. Contact me through the number or feel free to channel your support to the number. Let's meet in our next analysis.